So today, we're going to dive into the story of an absolute automotive legend, Mercedes-Benz. And we're going to see how their famous motto, the best or nothing, wasn't just some slick marketing line. Nope, it was the core principle that literally changed how we all drive.
So that really makes you wonder, right? How does a company manage to build a legacy that not only lasts, but thrives for over 100 years? The story of Mercedes-Benz gives us some pretty powerful clues. To figure it out, we've got to go way, way back to the beginning. Okay, so picture this. It's the late 19th century. The world's on the edge of this massive change, a total transportation revolution just waiting to happen. And that spark? Well, it came from a few brilliant minds who looked at our world of horses and carriages and thought, there has to be a better way. And what's so cool about this story is that it doesn't start with just one company. It actually starts with two on totally parallel paths. Over here, you've got Carl Benz, the guy who created what we now call the world's first real automobile. And at the exact same time, you've got Gottlieb Daimler and Wilhelm Maybach, who were off on their own pioneering these revolutionary new engines. Two separate tracks, but they were both headed for the same incredible destination. And boom, this is the year it all becomes real. 1886. Carl Benz patents his motor wagon. And with that, the automotive age officially kicks off. Just like that, a single patent starts a revolution that would change the world forever. So you've got these two powerhouses, right? Both pushing the limits of what was possible. But what happened next? Well, that's what turned them from just being rivals into a true legend. Okay, so here's how it went down. Benz and CI get started back in 1883. Then Daimler's company, DMG, comes along in 1890. For decades, man, they were fierce competitors. But then, in 1926, they did something that completely rewrote automotive history. They merged, and that fusion created the powerhouse we all know today, Mercedes-Benz. But look, this merger wasn't just about shaking hands and combining balance sheets. No way. It was about combining this relentless ambition for innovation. The new company immediately went on this quest for perfection, and in doing so, they started this incredible legacy of engineering firsts. And here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Let's jump to 1936. While pretty much every other car maker was all in on gasoline engines, Mercedes-Benz, they were already thinking differently. They rolled out the world's first diesel-powered passenger car. I mean, think about that. This was a massive leap in efficiency, in durability. It just showed everyone they were committed to pushing boundaries and trying new things, way before anyone else was. And their innovation didn't stop at the engine. Not even close. In fact, this is where it gets really interesting. Mercedes-Benz developed this obsession with safety. Think about the stuff we just take for granted in our cars today. The crumple zone, the airbag, anti-lock brakes, or ABS, the stability control. All of them? Pioneered by Mercedes-Benz. They didn't just make their cars safer, they fundamentally changed automotive safety for the entire industry. You know, all of this incredible work, this constant pushing, it can all be boiled down to these four simple words that became their official motto, the best or nothing. And you gotta understand, this isn't just some catchy ad campaign. It's the DNA of the company. It's the principle that has guided everything they've done from the very beginning. Okay, so once you've built this foundation of pure engineering genius, what's next? Well, the brand started to build something else, an aura of prestige. This is the story of how they went from being just a car company to a global symbol of success. And they did it with a brilliant one-two punch. First, they built these timeless, iconic luxury cars, like the S-Class and the G-Class. Cars that just scream success, right? And at the same time, they went out and dominated on the world's toughest stage, Formula One racing. You put that combination of pure luxury at raw performance together, and boom, you've cemented your reputation across the entire planet. But here's the thing about a legacy. It's not just about what you've done in the past. To stay on top, you have to keep innovating. So the big question is, how is Mercedes-Benz taking that century-old philosophy and applying it to the challenges we're facing right now, in the 21st century? Well, they're taking that same historic ambition and aiming it squarely at the biggest shift in transportation in 100 years. The brand isn't just trying to lead in luxury anymore. They're aiming to lead in the new world of electric mobility. It's a whole new frontier, but they're tackling it with that same old drive for perfection. And the best example of this, hands down, is their EQ series. That's their dedicated lineup of all electric cars. You can think of it as the modern version of their innovative spirit. It's like a direct line from that very first motor wagon all the way to a sustainable electric future. It's kind of like history repeating itself, just with batteries instead of pistons this time. So let's circle back to that question we started with. How do you build a legacy that actually lasts? Well, the Mercedes-Benz story basically gives us the recipe. It all starts with relentless innovation. You back that up with an unwavering commitment to luxury. That combination builds enduring trust with your customers. And you top it all off by always having a vision for the future. And that leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to think about. After shaping the last 100 years of the automobile, what is the best even going to look like in the next one? What will that mean for a company like Mercedes-Benz? Something to ponder. Thanks for joining me on this one.